Good evening, and welcome to our special broadcast, where we delve into a deeply divisive issue in the world of sports. Tonight we are asking, should performance-enhancing drugs be allowed in sports? Joining us to explore this complex question are Dr. Elena Petrova, who will argue for a regulated approach, and Mr. Ben Carter, who will argue against their use. We'll begin with opening statements, followed by rebuttals, a moderated discussion, and finally, closing statements from our guests.
Thank you, Alex. This is a complex issue, and I'll argue for a regulated system for performance-enhancing drugs. My first point is athlete-autonomy. Adults, fully informed and under medical guidance, should have the right to choose what they do with their bodies in pursuit of their careers. Current bans are proving ineffective. They drive drug use underground, where athletes risk their health with unregulated substances and no medical support. This is undeniably dangerous. A regulated system, by contrast, could improve athletes' safety. It would ensure medical supervision, quality control of substances, and education on risks, which is a far better alternative to the current hazardous black market. Secondly, some PEDs, when administered responsibly by medical professionals, could significantly aid in quicker injury recovery, or even extend an athlete's competitive lifespan. This provides athletes more control over their professional lives. The spirit of sport is not a static ideal. It has always adapted to scientific and technological progress, from advanced equipment to sophisticated training methods. Medically supervised enhancement could be another such evolution. Therefore, instead of a failing prohibitionist stance, we should explore a pragmatic framework that prioritizes harm reduction and responsible scientific application. Regulation offers a path to manage these substances more safely.
Thank you, Alex. While I acknowledge the intense pressures on athletes today, I stand firmly against the notion of allowing performance-enhancing drugs in any capacity within sports. My foremost concern involves the undeniable and serious health risks. Even under hypothetical medical supervision, many PEDs carry significant dangers: cardiovascular damage, liver toxicity, hormonal imbalances, and severe psychological disturbances. The long-term consequences are often insidious and catastrophic. Secondly, PEDs fundamentally corrupt the, quote, spirit of sport. True athletic competition is built on fairness, the celebration of natural human talent, and the rewards of discipline and perseverance. Chemical enhancements create an artificial and unequal playing field, devaluing genuine human effort and achievement. This isn't merely about an abstract concept of fairness. It's about the very real risk of coercion. If PEDs were permitted, younger, more impressionable athletes, or those in precarious financial situations, could feel immense pressure to use these substances simply to remain competitive, irrespective of their personal desires or the inherent health dangers. Furthermore, the integrity of all sports records and historical achievements would be irrevocably shattered. How could we meaningfully compare future, pharmacologically aided performances to the benchmarks of the past? The entire historical narrative of sport would be tainted.
Ben raises valid points about health, but I must reiterate, the current unregulated, underground use of PEDs is far more dangerous than a medically supervised system would be. Many elite sports already carry inherent physical risks. Think of contact sports or extreme endurance events. We manage these risks through rules, equipment, and medical support. PEDs, if part of a structured, monitored regimen, could be managed similarly, focusing on harm minimization rather than ineffective prohibition. As for the spirit of sport, it's a noble ideal, but as I mentioned, it's not static. We readily embrace technological advancements in footwear, aerodynamic equipment, and sophisticated data analytics to enhance performance. Why is biochemical support, carefully managed, viewed so differently if it can be done safely? A prohibitive stance, which has been the status quo, has demonstrably failed to stop usage. It has only made it more perilous. A regulated system offers transparency and control, which are crucial for athlete well-being in this context.
Dr. Petrova's vision of medical supervision sounds ideal, but I question its global feasibility and true ethical application. How do we prevent doctor shopping or practitioners who prioritize performance above all else, potentially endangering athletes further? Regarding athlete autonomy, the intense pressure to succeed in high-stakes professional sports can easily override genuine free choice. For many, the choice to use PEDs might feel more like a necessity to keep their careers alive, making it less autonomous and more coercive. Comparing biochemical enhancements to advancements in sporting equipment is misleading. Equipment assists the athlete. These drugs alter the athlete's fundamental physiology, often with unknown long-term health costs, which is a critical distinction in the spirit of sport debate. Ultimately, sanctioning PEDs, even with regulation, normalizes their use. This sends a damaging message to young athletes that chemical enhancement is a valid path to achievement, eroding the value of natural development and hard work.
Dr. Petrova, if PEDs were allowed, who draws the line between therapy and enhancement, and how?
An independent expert body, Alex, using clear medical criteria. Therapy restores normal function. It doesn't exceed it. This would be managed via an expanded, transparent Tuesday system for specific, approved substances and dosages.
And how would you prevent a PED arms race for riskier substances?
By maintaining a strictly limited list of approved substances with known safety profiles regularly reviewed. Anything unlisted remains banned. The focus shifts to managing knowns, not an open field for untested compounds, backed by robust testing.
Mr. Carter, current bans don't stop all PED use. Isn't a regulated system less harmful than the underground market?
Transparency in an unethical practice doesn't make it ethical, Alex. Regulation implies acceptance. The current system, though imperfect, upholds an ideal of clean sport and aims to deter use, which is crucial for athlete health and fairness.
If protecting health is key, how do current punitive measures compare to potentially safer, medically supervised PED regimens?
Anti-doping protects health by discouraging the use of inherently risky substances altogether. It upholds an ethical line. Supervised PED use still exposes athletes to risks and fundamentally alters sport. The ethical cost is too high.
Dr. Petrova, a quick response to Mr. Carter's point about the ethical line?
The ethical line is already compromised by widespread, unsafe underground use. Regulation aims to manage an existing reality more ethically by prioritizing harm reduction and informed consent over an ineffective prohibition. In summary, my position is clear. The current prohibitionist approach to PEDs is failing our athletes. It fosters a dangerous black market and does little to curb usage effectively. I advocate for a shift towards a regulated system, one that prioritizes athlete safety through medical supervision, ensures informed consent, and respects individual autonomy. This is not about encouraging drug use, but about pragmatic harm reduction. It's about acknowledging that scientific advancements, including pharmacological ones, can be managed responsibly within sport, just as they are in other areas of life. Such a system would allow for quality control, appropriate dosages, and ongoing health monitoring, things that are entirely absent in the current clandestine environment. It's about choosing a safer, more transparent path. I urge everyone to consider an open, evidence-based discussion about developing a robust regulatory framework that truly serves the best interests of athletes and the evolution of sport.
To conclude, while I understand the desire for solutions, legalizing performance-enhancing drugs is not the answer. The inherent health dangers, even under supervision, remain a profound concern for long-term athlete well-being. Allowing PEDs would irrevocably damage the spirit of fair play, transforming sport from a test of natural human endeavor into a competition between pharmacological strategies. It erodes the very values we cherish. Furthermore, the risk of coercion, particularly for young and vulnerable athletes, cannot be overstated. We must protect them from a system where drug use becomes a perceived necessity for success. The integrity of sport, its records, and its ability to inspire rely on a commitment to natural ability and hard work. We must uphold this integrity. Therefore, I call for a renewed focus on strengthening anti-doping efforts, promoting ethical sport, and supporting athletes through means that enhance their natural talents, not through chemical intervention.
Thank you, Dr. Petrova and Mr. Carter, for this vigorous and insightful debate on a profoundly challenging topic. Your arguments have clearly highlighted the complex ethical, medical, and sporting considerations at play. We hope this discussion has given our audience much to reflect upon. Good evening.